faded celebrity, desperate to regain fame, orchestrated an elaborate fake death publicity stunt. At the farewell ceremony, numerous friends and family gathered to commemorate this former internet sensation. Meanwhile, he was secretly watching from a hidden location via live stream as various celebrities paid tribute to him in the media, filling him with an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. After the memorial service ended, his agent was supposed to arrive with tools to rescue him from his burial site. However, the agent encountered an unexpected emergency en route to the location. Panic set in as he realized his agent was the only person involved in this fake death scheme. Now that his agent was in danger, he faced the terrifying prospect of being trapped with no way out. The thought sent chills down his spine. Since the situation had reached this point, he could only force himself to remain calm. Just as he was about to pull out his phone to call for help, he worried that involving law enforcement would expose his deceptive scheme. He had no choice but to abandon the idea of reporting to police and instead seek help from friends. However, he was using an unfamiliar number, and having just completed his own funeral, no one would believe he was still alive. Before he could prove his identity, the other party mistook him for a scammer and blocked him directly. Faced with such circumstances, he fell into despair. Seeing that his text messages were being ignored, he switched to voice calls to contact friends and family, yet no one was willing to believe him. At this moment, he experienced unprecedented desperation. In his fight for survival, he mustered the courage to contact his former assistant. Fearing she too wouldn't believe him, he initiated a video call instead. The female assistant was nearly frightened to death, as the recently deceased celebrity was somehow calling her. Such an inconceivable event would be unbelievable to anyone. Fortunately, he quickly explained the entire sequence of events, and only then did the female assistant accept the reality that he was still alive. She comforted him, saying not to worry, that she would immediately come to rescue him. However, after a long wait, there was still no word from the female assistant. Growing suspicious, he called again, only to find that a complete stranger answered the phone. The person claimed to be medical staff from a psychiatric facility. At that moment, the female assistant was being admitted to a mental health institution. He was on the verge of a complete mental breakdown. After careful consideration, he thought of ride-sharing services. However, when the driver learned he needed to pick up a passenger at a cemetery, he immediately canceled the ride without hesitation. He suddenly remembered the news media, believing that such bizarre stories would certainly capture their attention. Therefore, he contacted a television station and proactively recorded video evidence to prove his claims were genuine. However, the news organization staff remained skeptical. They even created a mocking video response to ridicule him. With time running out, his phone battery was nearly dead, and he fell completely into the abyss of despair. He tried ramming the coffin with his body, but it remained immovable. After struggling for some time, he finally resigned himself to his fate. He recorded what he believed would be his final words. When he regained consciousness, he found his injured assistant from the car accident standing before him. As the assistant dragged him out of the coffin, he saw that all his friends and family had gathered outside. This wasn't a cemetery at all, but a familiar film studio. The entire ordeal had been meticulously orchestrated by his assistant. From the moment he was confined within, Anton had staged an elaborate theatrical performance.